Welcome to episode 58 of the Valley Sports Talk podcast, brought to you by Big Shiny Windows, the Valley's clear choice for professional window cleaning, providing residential and commercial window cleaning along with siding and eavesdrop cleaning since 2004. Check out the link below in our description for more information on their services. Back for episode 58. It's going to be a bit of a quick one. We got a softball game to get to. Brandon was running late from a bit of a little fling he had, not fling, golf get together thingy for um, his girlfriend's work. But we're going to be talking. We actually have some news to talk about today. We'll get to that in a minute. But first, I'll turn it over to Brandon. Brandon, how are you?
I'm good. It was like Noah said, it was just kind of a little 9-hole scramble there. We actually finished first. We were
No
uh,
way.
we were 5 under after 5, and then slowed down a little bit. Finished 4 under. Sorry, 4 under. Um, we eagled hole 1
Wow.
with all 3 of my shots actually.
Look at
Um,
you.
but every hole we used a different tee blocks. We were from the closest tees, so I mean it is what it is. But we don't have to tell people that.
We'll
I
take it.
eagled it.
We'll take it.
I eagled it. Um, but yeah, we won. I mean, it was just for fun, so it didn't mean anything. We had wings after. That's why I was a little late. The wings took a while. I have them right here beside me. They smell amazing. I haven't eaten any of them, and I'm starving. But it's all good.
We're gonna make him starve.
Yeah.
Like I said, we finally have some news to talk about today. Earlier today, the Calgary Flames out of everyone, the Calgary Flames signed Nazem Kadri to a 7 by 7 year deal to go to play in the Saddle Dome with Huberdeau, with Lindholm, with Uyghur, with Hannafin. You know, he's just it shocked me. I don't know about you, but I thought it was just a sort of done deal that he was just going to go to the Islanders. We were just waiting to hear it. But all of a sudden, he throws us a curveball and decides to head out to Alberta.
Um. Yeah. When free agency first started, Calgary's name was floating around. So the fact that he went to Calgary doesn't really surprise me. It's kind of funny because when he was on um, the Leafs had to trade him for TJ Brody,
Yes,
but Kadri said no because there's no trade clause. He had like a partial no trade clause, and Calgary was one of the teams. So it's kind of funny how that all works out. But so if this happened in the first week of free agency, I wouldn't have been surprised. But the later this went on, I thought for sure it was Colorado or the Islanders. And I mean, 7 by 7 is a ton of money, but for some of the numbers we're hearing from Nazem Kadri, I'm surprised there weren't like I'm sure we'll hear of some other teams that threw more money at him. But ultimately he chose Calgary.
yeah, it's definitely weird. We posted it on, or I posted on our Instagram um story earlier in the day, but I don't
I
know if
voted.
you voted on it. I didn't check. I don't know if you
I
saw the
voted.
story.
I
I
voted.
didn't look at the votes. Um, What did you vote for? Do you think that Calgary has a better team going into this year, or do they think they have a better team going in next year?
I think they had a better team going into next year. Um, you lose your 2 best players in Gaudreau and Kachuk, but you replace them with uh, Kadri, who in my mind is just as good as Johnny. So you got a tie
Ooh,
there.
ooh, I don't know about
Uh,
that.
well, from last year, he probably won't keep that up, but um, I mean, money wise, you don't pay as much and you get a pretty good
I think
player.
Johnny Gaudreau is a borderline top 10 player, where I think Kadri's a borderline top 30.
30 might be a little low, um,
25.
um, but I like the additions of Uyghur and Huberto, obviously, and then like you just their defense is really good now, and I mean Huberto and Kadri and Lindholm and Manji and Pani and they still got some studs up front. So I like the all around sort of build of this team a little bit better. I think with Goudreau and Kachuk, it's a little more offensive heavily, and I think they're more all around built now.
I agree with your point that I think they were better this year. I don't agree with your Kadri Gaudreau comparison. I definitely think they're better on paper this year that going into this season. Um, in my opinion, I think it's more the getting Uyghur. I think he's one of the best two-way defensemen in the league. And he's on a steal of a contract. They can find a way to extend him. Then they trade one even more. But I would more compare Huberdeau to Goudreau and
Yeah, fair
Tkachuk
enough.
to Kadri. Just because I feel
Fair
like
enough.
Kadri and Tkachuk are kind of the same play styles where they're both gritty, get under people's skins, can score the puck and play make. And their skill wise, I'd put them differently. Um, but yeah, I definitely think that it's kind of weird. I saw a post it's like the first time in NHL history where a team arguably loses their best two players in an off season, but yet still gets better.
Yeah, I mean, that's very rare. That's hard to do. Um, do you think where do you think they finish in this division?
So I was literally about to get to that. Now, after this move today, the Flames are now second behind the only the Oilers to come as favorites to come out of the West. I believe they're plus 500 to come out of the West right now. Um, I
In their
I
division
actually
or in the West?
no in the West period,
Behind who?
just the Oilers.
They're ahead of Colorado?
Oh, sorry, it was definitely the Pacific.
Yeah, I was
It
gonna
was
say there's
Pacific.
no way
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
ahead
yeah, it was
of
Pacific.
Colorado.
I think the Knights, the Golden Knights, they're not in that division. I don't remember. Um,
Probably.
right.
It's okay.
I hate how on the score you can't look
I
at
know, I know, I know.
I
Um,
gotta search it up.
no, I got it. Um, maybe I don't have it. Well, yeah, it's off too.
Yeah,
There we go.
The Pacific they had
It's
Vancouver
a good
and
division.
before this trade they had Vancouver and um Vancouver and Vegas ahead of Calgary. But after this Kadri trade that jumped them back up. But just behind the Oilers.
Do you think do you think the Oilers are better?
I don't disagree. I'm not a big Oilers guy. I would honestly put the Flames ahead of the Oilers. I think they have a better goalie. I think they have a better defensive core, and I think they have better forward depth. You know, when you can't I keep saying it, they got to the conference finals this year. You can't just solely rely on McDavid and Draisaitl. Like it's gonna come back to bite you. Um, so I honestly think that this puts Calgary at the top of the Pacific.
Yeah, I didn't even realize how good of a division this is. I forgot like LA's here too. LA's going to be really good next year. Um, it's going to be like a really tough top half of the division. Like you got Calgary, Edmonton, LA, and Vegas. And I mean, you can't sleep on Vancouver either. That's a good division. Quickly turned into a really good division. But then you got
Yeah,
San
no
Jose,
kidding.
Anaheim, Seattle.
How would you rank them right now?
Oh, that's tough. The Oilers always play well, but I never trust it. Like if I had to actually bet, I would probably go Calgary, LA, Edmonton.
Really?
Yeah, I just like you said, you like we've been saying you can't lean on them for like 4 years now, but when is this going to stop? And I know I've talked up Campbell quite a bit, partially because he was a Leafs goalie, but again, he does get cold. He has some cold stretches, and the amount of goals this team, the amount of shots and chances this team lets up, he can't be doing that. So I think there might be a couple spots in the seasons where they go into some losing streaks, and LA's too good of a team. I think they'll ride it to second place.
Yeah, that I don't know if I want to put LA ahead of the Oilers, even though I'm not a big Oilers guy here. If I were to rank it, I would go Calgary, Edmonton, LA, Vegas, Vancouver, San Jose, Seattle, Anaheim.
I think I'd put Vancouver ahead of Vegas.
That's true.
Robin
They don't have a
Leonard
goalie right now. They don't have a
Robin
goalie.
Leonard being out all year is
Vegas
tough.
doesn't have a goalie. Yes, forgot
Yeah.
did mention that. Vegas has had such like a whirlwind of a last couple of years since they've made it to the finals, eh? I don't know if
Like if you think about Vegas's franchise history, even though it's short, the years they weren't supposed to be good, they make deep playoff runs and Stanley Cup final runs. And the last like 2, 3 years, they've supposed to have been really good, and they've struggled to make playoffs. and I don't think they'll make playoffs this year either.
That's true. I mean, they'll definitely be fighting for a wild card spot. They definitely you can't sleep on their roster still, other than their goaltender situation. They do have a pretty good roster. I
Oh,
mean,
they're stacked.
you got Theodore, you got Petrangelo, you got Eichel up front. You know, you got players like Chandler Stevenson, who has sort of come to his own since being there.
Hmm.
But I think the Leonard situation really is the reason that it could
That
put them out of
hurts.
a playoff spot.
That hurts a lot. You think you like
Totally.
Seattle over Anaheim? I do too.
I like Seattle over Anaheim. I think I don't really, other than the moves Anaheim did make this year, I think they'll still try to tank. Like
Yeah, why wouldn't
I'm
you?
still I'm still waiting. Like just after seeing what they're doing in the World Juniors right now, imagine putting Bedard with McTavish for the future.
Oh my gosh. Jeez.
Just with what they're doing in the World Juniors makes me like drool over the possibility of that.
I know.
Even though I don't watch very many Anaheim games because they're always late. Pittsburgh only ever plays them once when they go on the Western road trip.
Yeah.
Other than that, the Central Division
Yes, sir.
doesn't really get me as excited.
No?
I don't know. Other than Colorado, St. Louis, maybe Nashville. Nashville might be sneaky this year. Minnesota
Nashville's always
lost
sneaky.
Fiala. What?
Nashville's always sneaky. I never count them out.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Winnipeg's gonna do much this year. I don't know.
No, me neither. Winnipeg's it like there's so much talk about Shifley and Wheeler. Like where will they end up? Chicago, there's just more drama there than there should ever be on a team that bad. Arizona, they're playing at in a college arena.
They're playing at the University of Arizona. That's all we have
You
to
know what
say.
though?
Enough said. What?
Their first home game is going to be their most televised game all year long.
I
I'm going to watch it. I want
will
to see what
100%. I don't even know who it's against, but I'll watch it.
yeah, like I don't care who they're playing. I'm gonna tune in for the first period at least and watch
Might as
that.
well. That'd be the electricity in the building's gonna be nuts.
Yeah, I think Minnesota's gonna take a bit of a fall. It's hard with the two buyouts, right? To keep
Oh,
competitive.
definitely.
Those buyouts are the reason they don't have Kevin Fiala on their roster anymore. Um, St. Louis is going to be very good. Obviously, you got Colorado, Nashville. Like really, you basically got Nashville, Dallas, and Minnesota battling for the third place in that division. I think both wild card teams will be from the Pacific Division. I think only three teams from the Central make it personally.
Very
So it's just
fair.
kind of a battle for third place, in my opinion.
Very fair. Let's go through this quickly. I want you to rank the divisions 1 through 4 from strongest to weakest.
That's tough. If I'm just looking at it right now, um, I would say the Central's the weakest. Um, you got the two worst teams in the NHL, arguably in that division, in Chicago and Arizona. I would have to say the Pacific's the third weakest. Again, you got San Jose. I mean, they're okay. They're not great. You got Anaheim. You got Seattle, who's still trying to rebuild. Um, then it's between the Atlantic and the Metro. This is tough because
East. The two East teams.
I think. Well, I mean, it showed from last year. The East is just, I think, a lot better. Um, I think last year I said the Atlantic was the best division in hockey. I think I'm going to say the Metro going into next season, just because
Okay.
you got Carolina. I could see them in the Cup Finals. You got the Rangers. I could see them in the Cup Finals. You got Pittsburgh, them out. Washington. I think they're going to take a dip, but never count them out. Um, the Islanders. I think they just had an unlucky season last year with COVID, and they started the first 18 games on the road.
Something like
Uh,
that.
I think they bounced back. Uh, New Jersey got better, in my opinion. Still won't be there, but they're decent. Columbus is always a 500 team. You can never take them lightly. 'Cause they got a lot of good teams there. And then, so I'll give them first. I'll give the Atlantic second, mainly just because I think Florida got a little bit worse. I think Toronto, like if you're just looking at rosters heading into next season, in my opinion, Florida got worse. Toronto got a little bit worse. Boston, they're dealing with a ton of injuries, so they're going to start the season slow. So you still got a lot of good teams in here. Like Ottawa had a really good offseason. Detroit had a good offseason, but do they stack up with the Islanders, Washington, Pittsburgh? I don't think so. So I would go
I think
Metro, Atlantic, Pacific, Central.
I'm gonna disagree. I think the Atlantic's better than the Metro, mainly because if I'm looking at the teams, there's only two teams in the Atlantic that I would rule out of not making playoffs, and even then, I don't think you can completely rule out Montreal because they could have another horseshoe miracle run like they did to the Cup. The only team I'm counting out in that division right now is Buffalo. I think Detroit has a sneaky, really sneaky offseason, like a sneaky good offseason. I think Detroit could easily, possibly, if everything goes right, push for a wild card spot. Where if I'm looking at the Metro, I'm counting out Philly, I'm counting out New Jersey, and I'm counting out Columbus. Not counting out, but I'm saying that I don't think, like I would rather take Detroit's chances at making the playoffs than I would take Philly, New York, or New Jersey or Columbus. You know what I'm sort of
Yeah.
saying?
Oh, that's definitely fair. Definitely
But at the same time, you also I could be saying that because maybe the top half of the Metro teams are better, whereas maybe if Detroit's playing the top half of the Atlantic, they're not as good. Yada yada yada.
I
Lots of
do like the
it's
top of the
it's
Metro.
hard to rank. Top of the Metro, you got to have New York one, Carolina one, New York two. I'd still go Pitt three, Washington four.
Don't
I don't
sleep
know.
on the Islanders. Don't sleep on the Islanders.
I'm sleeping on him. I'm sleeping on him. But they still haven't gotten
They're
Barzell a winger. We saw last year Barzell needs a winger to be able to have a good season. They did not do that.
I think they're making the playoffs this year. I can't see. They got a good roster. They have
Yeah,
to
but they
at
don't have a
some point.
winger. They need Barzell needs a winger to play good.
Yeah, fair
He
enough.
doesn't have that.
We'll see.
That's why
We'll
they were
see.
all. That's why they were. I would technically 100% have them up if they landed Chuck because they're in the Chuck trades. Because why would you not want to put a winger like Matthew Tkachuk beside Matt Barzell? But
Yeah,
like, it's weird. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm a Penguins fan. I don't like any teams in the Metro. Um,
yeah,
that could also be a factor. Um, but I'm not really high on the Islanders.
yeah. That's fair enough. What was I gonna say here? Hold on a sec. I got a funny thing here, which is gonna bring us into our um next segment that I got for you. So the NBA released their Christmas games 2022. Um, I just wanted to say something, which I think the NFL does a great job. They, I mean, it's kind of funny when you actually read about it. Like some of the matchups you got. So in Christmas games in the NBA, you got the Philadelphia 76ers, New York Knicks.
Yep, good one.
Can you pull up NFL Christmas games for this year?
Yeah,
I want to show you how they do it, which is pretty funny. Um, I've kept track of this actually, and they seem to do it every year. Um, so you got Philadelphia 76ers at New York Knicks, and then when you check the
you got
Christmas
Packers,
games,
Dolphins,
yeah, but
Broncos,
here,
Rams, and Buccaneers,
look
Cardinals.
at does a Philadelphia or New York team play on Christmas?
No,
No? Okay, so that's an
no,
outlier. Los Angeles Lakers, Dallas Mavericks.
uh,
An LA team plays on
uh,
Christmas, right?
no.
LA team doesn't play on Christmas?
Oh, the Rams.
Yeah, so the Rams are playing. The Texans aren't playing, obviously. Um, then you got the Denver Nuggets at the Phoenix Suns.
I got the Broncos,
Yeah, so
and I got
people
the
aren't
Arizona
watching
Cardinals.
exactly. People aren't watching this Denver Nuggets Phoenix Suns game. You got Memphis Grizzly at Golden State Warriors. So that's another LA Rams team, basically. Um, and then you got the Milwaukee Bucks at Boston Celtics, and you have Green
Packers,
Bay.
that Packers,
Yeah, Packers are playing.
the Dolphins.
Yeah, and there's no Boston, I don't think. Like the
No,
Patriots aren't
Boston
playing.
would be New England.
Yeah, but basically every single Christmas game, an NFL team put a team playing from the same spot as the NBA. So like
Hmm.
I just find it funny, and it happened last year as well. Basically, the only game that doesn't have a correlation is the 76ers and New York Knicks.
Yep.
But I just find it funny how they always try and steal things. And that kind of brings me into the NFL, where we saw some Deshaun Watson news.
Yes. Yes, that came out today
Um,
too.
that's kind of how I was trying to segue it because I have a game. I have a game, and I want to see how.
Oh, I hate games.
No, this is a game you can't be wrong at.
Oh,
We can disagree, but you can't be wrong. So Deshaun Watson, it moved from 6 to 11, I believe, right?
yes.
Um, so I'm going to go through all of the Cleveland Browns schedule, and I'm going to ask you
I
if
know
you
that
think,
he's I know that he his first game back is against the Texans.
yeah, that's funny. Um, but yeah, so I want to go through their schedule, and it's basically called, are they better with or without? Okay, so I'm going to tell you their games, and I'm going to ask you if you think they would have won if Deshaun was playing, and then if they would have won even if he's not playing. Okay. So I did this earlier with myself, and I want to see how our wins and losses um, match up. I want to see how if we're similar or not. So week one, um, you have Cleveland traveling to Carolina to play the Panthers. Do you think Cleveland wins that game with Deshaun Watson?
Yes.
Do you think they win without Deshaun Watson?
Yes.
Okay. So we move on. Week two, they play the Jets at home. Do they win with Deshaun?
Yes.
Do they win without Deshaun?
Yes.
There we go. Week three, they play Pittsburgh at home. Do they win with Deshaun?
Who's Pittsburgh?
Yeah, but it's in Cleveland.
Yes.
Do they win without Deshaun?
No.
No, there's our first difference. Then they travel to Atlanta. Do they beat Atlanta with Deshaun?
No.
Oh, do they beat them without Deshaun?
No. I
Okay.
probably yes. Probably yes, to be honest with you.
Okay,
They'll
so I'll
probably
put a yes. I'll put a
Atlanta
yes to
would
that.
find a way to beat them with Deshaun, but they'll friggin' lose to Jacoby Brissett.
Fair enough. Then they host the Chargers. Do they win with
No.
Deshaun?
No, neither.
Neither. Fair enough. Week six, they are hosting the Patriots. Do they win with Deshaun?
Yes.
Do they win without?
No.
No. Week seven, they play Baltimore in Baltimore.
No for both.
No for either. Week eight, they host the Cincinnati Bengals.
No for yes for against Deshaun, no for without Deshaun.
Okay, fair enough. Week nine, they have a bye. Week 10, they play Miami.
Yes for both.
Yes for both. Fair enough. Okay, and then week 11, they play Buffalo in Buffalo.
No for both.
Okay, so now in this world, oh, his first game back is against the Bucks. Oh no, he missed 11 games, and they had a bye, so
Had a
this would be
bye
his
week.
last game. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so the Tampa Bay
Buck
Buccaneers
he's losing twice.
losing
Both are
both.
losing.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna pretend he's missing the full season, and I just want to see how this
You're gonna
stacks up.
compare the
Okay.
record.
Yeah. So let's say um week 13 they go to Houston. Do they win with Deshaun
Yes.
in his first game back?
100%.
Do they win if Deshaun's not there?
Yes.
They win both times. They play Cincinnati. Do they win with Deshaun?
Yeah.
Do they win without Deshaun?
No.
No. Week 15,
Those
they
are pretty
play
cheap.
Baltimore. They play Baltimore at home.
No,
Do they
they're
win with
losing both.
losing
Baltimore's clean
both?
sweeping them.
Week 16, they host the New Orleans Saints. Do they win with Deshaun?
Yeah.
Do they win without Deshaun?
Yeah.
Okay. You like this team. Then they play the Commanders. Do they win with Deshaun?
Yeah.
Do they win without Deshaun?
Yeah.
Dang, okay. We got a little bit of difference here. They finished the season off at Pittsburgh. Do they win with Deshaun?
Yes.
Do they win without Deshaun?
Since I already gave Pittsburgh a win, I don't think Pittsburgh's beaten them twice. So yes.
Okay, so here's how it stacks up. They play 17 games in a season. You said if Deshaun plays the whole season, they go 12-5.
I feel that's realistic.
I did it earlier. I said if Deshaun plays the full season, I did the exact same thing you did. I did to myself. I had 12-5.
Look at us.
Without Deshaun Watson, you have them going 8-9.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Playing with Jacoby Brissett.
I have them going 5-12.
Okay. Okay. So you had a bit more. You had a bit more losses.
Yeah, I'm not as high on it, but
There.
we're pretty similar. I'm shocked. It's pretty similar. It just shows how good of a team this team could have been. But
With
he had to go get a massage.
possibly, you never know. If Jacoby Brissett can hold it down and keep them around a 500 record, maybe they find a way to squeak in.
That's the thing, though. That's another thing I wanted to like. Jacoby Brissett, they start off like a pretty easy schedule. So, I mean, if you look at just the weeks he's gone, they play Carolina. That's a winnable game.
He's 100%
They play the Jets, very winnable game.
winnable game.
Then they play Pittsburgh, winnable game. They could be
Winnable
3-0
game.
even without Deshaun. Then they play Atlanta. They could be 4-0 without Deshaun.
They're gonna be 4-4. They're gonna be 3-1. Who we kidding?
then
Marcus
they
Mariota.
then they play the Chargers, guaranteed loss, basically. They play the Patriots. That's a winnable game.
Winnable game. The Patriots are a solid team, but
Yeah.
it's still a winnable
They
game.
play the Ravens. That's a loss. They play the Bengals. That's a loss. Then they have a bye. Then they come back and play Miami. I don't think that's a
I think it's a
guaranteed
winnable
loss.
game.
That's a winnable game.
100%.
Then they play the Bills.
Loss.
Then they play the Bucks. We had we had 5 guaranteed losses in that 11 games. They could be above 500 potentially.
Oh, easily.
They have
Jacoby
a really
Brissett
easy
has
start
gotta
to the season.
hold it down.
And then normally a quarterback like Deshaun Watson hasn't played in 2 years, and even Tom Brady, who's played every year, we saw a little bit of a slow start in Tampa. His first game back is against Houston. Like, even if you're sloppy, you probably win that game. And then you play the Bengals, which you might see him being a little sloppy, and then they play the Ravens, which you might see him be a little sloppy. But then they play the Saints
So sloppy
and
toppy.
the Commanders, and then they finish off with the Steelers. So they could easily still make the playoffs. This team,
For sure.
if they hover.
Definitely. They do. They're in a tough division though, so it'll be interesting to see what the other
Yeah,
teams are looking
they're
like.
in a tough conference.
Yeah, for sure.
If they're in the NFC, they probably make playoffs.
Before we get into our, I don't know if you remember what I said
Oh,
yesterday
shoot.
about what we're gonna.
Is there a website you can figure this out on?
What?
Top 5 songs?
Yeah, just literally type in Spotify stats and then just log into your Spotify, and it literally gives your top tracks from the past 4 weeks.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now as we speak. But what were you going to go on to here?
Before we get into that, while you're finding that, I am going to go through a couple would you rather sports questions. I just want to see your opinions. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Would you rather be the star of a bad team or an average player on an elite team?
Would I rather be Bradley Beal or Andrew Wiggins?
That was, or I was thinking Bradley Beal or like a Jarrett or like a Jonas Valanciunas on them.
Is Andrew Wiggins better than average?
I think Andrew Wiggins is better than average NBA player.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Me too.
So it's here. How about this? This is literally it's like Bradley Beal or PJ Tucker.
I'd rather be PJ Tucker, I think. He makes a lot of money and he plays important basketball.
Very fair. Would you rather win the MVP award or a championship?
Uh, I'd rather win a championship. I just like playing
100%.
important games.
I'd
I
rather
like
win.
playing important games. It's like if Bradley Beal were to win the MVP, I wouldn't be surprised, but he's not making playoffs.
Would you rather watch a regular season game courtside or a game 7 from the nosebleeds?
Just sorry, what was the first option?
Would you rather watch just a regular season game courtside or a game 7 from the nosebleeds?
Damn, it would really depend who's playing. Um, I might just go regular season NBA game courtside. I think
Really,
that'd be
I'm
such an
definitely going
experience.
game 7, 100%. No ifs, ands about uts about it. Nosebleeds are good enough for me. You can still see what's going on.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. That's a
Uh,
tough.
would you rather have really cool uniforms with a rundown stadium or a state-of-the-art stadium with ugly uniforms? Basically, would you rather look good and play in a crappy place or look crappy and play in a wicked place?
I'd rather look good.
Really?
I'd want.
Look good, play good, I guess you're right.
Yeah, I like jerseys.
Would you rather have a long average playing career or have a short, fantastic career cut short by injury?
I would hate to be Yao Ming. Give me that. Give me that long. Give me that JJ Redick.
Would you rather own the record for most points scored or most championships?
Most championships. Oh my God.
100%.
Everyone
No
remembers
way.
Bill Russell.
You can give me. I can have 1 point total, and if I have 12 championships, one more than Bill Russell, sign me up.
Exactly. I
All
totally
right.
agree.
So our before we end it, because we do have to run to a baseball game, um, we decided to do what songs are we listening to right now? Get into the minds, brains, the life of Brandon and Noah from Valley Sports Talk. Brandon, have you found your top tracks
Yeah. What are we
from the
doing?
last your last five from the last 4 weeks? Let's go. How about
Last
this? We'll do the
four
last 4
weeks?
weeks, and we'll do all time.
Okay. Okay. Because I just looked and it changes.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, give me your number 5 song.
My number five song is All Summer Long by Kid Rock.
Good song. Good
I
tune.
gotta say, it is a beautiful
Um,
song.
the 5th song I have listened to the most in the past 4 weeks is "Little Bones" by the Tragically Hip.
Oh, damn. Okay. I like it. My number four, speaking of Tragically Hip, is Three Pistols by Tragically
That's a
Hip.
good one too.
Very good song.
My number 4 is a country song. She Had Me at Heads Carolina by Cole Swindell. I heard it in Tim Hortons the other day, and it's just a catchy tune.
It is a good song. Very good song. Um, at number three, just because Haley was trying to sing it for Summerfest, I listened to it a lot, is Learn to Fly, Foo Fighters.
That's
Um,
fair.
it is
It's
a
a good
very good
tune
song.
too. Very good
Yeah,
song. My next 3 you probably aren't gonna know. They're all rap songs.
yeah, I
At
won't know them.
my number 3, it's "No Sleep" by Wiz Khalifa. It's an older song. You might know the chorus because it's like from like 2011, but the chorus is pretty well known. Maybe I'll play it for you at ball and you might know it.
Um, yeah, I would definitely want to hear it. Don't know it off just the title. Um, my number two, I don't even know if you classify this as rock or country, but it's Copperhead Road.
It's more rock than country.
Yeah, I think you can make an argument. It's a good song, anyways. Won't
Yeah,
complain
for
either.
sure. My number 2 is a song called "Jimmy Cooks" by Drake and 21 Savage. It's a newer song, but again, you probably haven't heard it.
No, no. I mean, yeah, I don't even know if I would actually know that one to hear it if it's
It's a
newer.
new song. It came out like a month ago.
Oh, I definitely would not know it then. Is it good?
I don't mind it. It's got a good flow to it.
Yeah. Um, number one is Three Doors Down. It's Not My Time.
Oh, that's you love that song.
It is a good song. Yeah. It's a banger
It's a
for
very
sure.
good. It's a very good one. All right, my number one is also a rap song. It's "Holy Trinity" by Arizona Zervis featuring Rich the Kid. It's the same guy that sings Roxanne. You know, like Roxanne.
Yeah, I know
You
that
know,
one.
it's the same. It's the same artist.
Nice.
All right, all time. All five of mine are rap, of course.
Okay, go
But you
down. I
might
just want to see. It goes down to 50. What's your 50th?
uh, it's a rap song. It's "Baguettes in the Face" by DJ Mustard.
Mine hasn't hit me yet from Blue Rodeo.
That's a that's such a random one.
I know. I wanted to
Okay,
scroll down and
let's
see
do the let's do the what's your 30th?
what,
Oh, it goes to
30.
do 40. What's your 40?
Seven Nation Army.
Mine's Innocent by Our Lady Peace.
Oh yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good one.
Okay, 30.
30. Life is a highway.
Oh, banger, my favorite song of all time, even though
Yeah,
it's not number one. Mine's The Power of Love by Huey Lewis and the News.
I don't know it.
Yeah, you do.
Do I?
From Back to the Future.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's the
I'm just,
power of love.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, what's your 20?
Uh, Noah's Dad's special is New
New
Orleans
Orleans
is
is
sinking.
my New Orleans is singing is 24 on mine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. My number 20 is fucking Problems by by ASAP Rocky, Drake, 2 Chainz, and Kendrick Lamar. I listen to it in the gym a lot.
Fair enough. Yeah.
All right, what's 10? And then we'll do one and then we'll end it off there.
My 10 is
Oh
Bon
my
Jovi,
God. You don't want to
living
know
on a
my 10.
living on
Oh,
a.
I don't like my 10.
Let's hear it.
It's Something in Your Mouth by Nickelback.
That's number 10. I'm gonna look through my
10th
list, see if
most
I
played
see
song
it.
of all time.
I have a Nickelback song at 24, Burn It to the Ground.
Oh,
Do I have
I
any
got
more?
yeah.
That's my
I only
only
have one.
Nickelback song in the top 50.
I only have one Nickelback too. All right, what's
That's
your number one? I can probably guess what it is, but
What do you think?
I think it's Never Too Late.
It is Never Too Late.
Yep. Yep. Look at me. Okay, see if you can guess mine. You're not gonna guess it, but
Oh
let's
my
try it.
God, not a chance. Um,
It's a 2019 rap song.
Not a
It's
chance.
whenever you get a package, it comes in this.
I don't know, mailbag.
No,
I
it's
have
a
no idea.
square. It's a square.
Box.
Do you know a song called The Box?
No.
You probably would if you heard it.
Yeah, I probably would.
All right,
It's
yeah,
weird.
that's
If I go to the last 6 months, it's not a 3 Days Grace song.
my top track is Homecoming by Kanye West.
Mine's Better Man by Pearl Jam.
Really, and then I got a Luke Combs song, and then 3 rap songs.
I don't have any rap songs.
I wonder why you don't listen to rap. All right, we're gonna end it off there because we got to get going to some baseball soon. Anything you want to add before we leave?
I just got a text. We won our golf thing, so that's pretty interesting.
You already said at the start.
Yeah, well, it wasn't confirmed. Now it is. I just
Oh,
assumed we won, but now it's confirmed.
attaboy.
Um,
Round of
so
applause.
what's something I want to add? I'm gonna put Noah last in batting order, and we're gonna win tonight.
Probably you guys did better without me on the weekend. So,
And
um,
go
we have
Canada.
we have also before we end it, we have interviews lined up for the next 2 weeks. I didn't tell you about one, Brandon, but we do. So, next in 2 weeks, we will have interviews in both of them. Make sure you stay tuned for those, and we will see you
Well, that
next
is
week.
something we've been getting a lot of views recently.
A
It's
lot of
been awesome.
traction.
Yeah,
Keep it up.
we're almost at 1,000 downloads.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's cool.
It's nuts.
All right. With that, we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.